Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. This is the road to 56, and we are the Allies. It is now 1947. This war has dragged on a bit, but at the end of the previous stream, there was a pretty big event. Japan finally fell to the forces of the United Kingdom. And with it, their entire Far Eastern Empire, China in particular, has now joined the good guys. If we switch over to the faction map mode, we can see that the Allies have just gained a significant amount of power because of that. Our previous victory was in the securing of Africa against the Axis powers. The Axis are now relegated purely to Europe. And now that we've taken Japan, we've taken China, and we have an enormous front line against the Soviet Union, which we are going to need to organise post-haste, because the former front line was all the way down here. So we're going to need to be doing a fair bit of movement. Before we get too far into this, though, Horned Panda, you were asking about whether I could talk about recon planes a bit more and spotting at sea. I will cover that after the break, because I've realised that that's actually a dev diary I have not read yet. I saw the one where scout planes were introduced, and it's just like, it gathers intel, but what more can you say? But apparently there is more to it, which they did in the dev diary last week, which somehow I missed. The one this week I knew I had missed, because I just haven't had time. So I'm now 2 dev diaries behind. The one where they talk more about spotting and espionage. And then the most recent, which only dropped Wednesday, 2 days ago, which is talking about the Portuguese focus tree. And I did actually see them tweeting about the fact that this was arriving, but somehow missed it all the same. So I will read up on those and talk more about them when I get a chance. Okay. Celebrating my birthday by watching some Mordred. Hey, Fishy! Happy birthday! That's awesome. I think the big difference with scout planes is you can use them during peacetime, so they can be spotting stuff even before you start fighting anything. Because unless you're at war, your planes don't actually fly, even if they have orders. This will allow you to probably spot where convoys are going, would be my guess. So you can start thinking about which naval routes you need to intercept early on. Okay, so speaking of naval routes, it occurs to me that we have just taken out the last of the naval powers. Oh no, Soviets actually have a fair fleet. They still have 200 ships, crikey. Germany's only got 13. Italy's got 37. And Spain has 8. Okay, so I don't think I need to worry too much about them, so it's just going to be the Soviet fleet. I wonder where they're active. Black Sea? That's a lot of ships in the Black Sea. Black Sea and the Baltic, probably. I don't think we've really been fighting the Soviets. What is their fleet? That is a fair number of ships. And this was just fighting the Japanese to force my landing, so we did lose a good number of destroyers, actually, in the run-up to the naval invasion. Yikes. Okay, first things first. We need to work out where our troops are, and then organise accordingly. So this is Dempsey, who is by far and away my most capable commander. Come on! So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new theatre. And this is going to be the Far East. And it is going to be commanded by Dempsey. So O'Connor is currently... Oh no, Dempsey is my special forces. Right. So I need a different commander. Right, who's my second best field marshal? Not you. Possibly Monty? No, it's Brooke. So where's Brooke's troops? Brooke's kind of spread out all over the place. So let's move you back. Whoop. Bugger. How do you move between theatres? Fortunately, this means that Dempsey's going to have to travel again, which is another 15 days. But it's going to take about that amount of time to get organised anyway. It's actually going to be Brooke that I want to move.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a bit sneaky. We're going to open up a new thing. We're going to do this. We're going to go Far East. And then I'm going to start assigning Far Eastern troops to it. So the Indies forces, I think, can be added.
Attention!
British garrison cannot. These guys can be added.
Listen up!
These guys can be added.
Commands!
Those are my British forces.
Ready!
So actually, the British colonial force can go there. They can be added.
Ready!
You can't. You can't. You can.
Listen up!
So can you. So can you. Alright, so...
Orders!
This is an enormous garrison army, which will need to be split up as well. I think we're actually going to end up having 2 field marshals over here, which is kind of mental. So let's start another field marshal. Split this army in half.
Listen up!
And then we're going to remove these 2. Start a new army. Remove these 2. Start a new army. Put you onto there.
Orders!
And then we'll have to cancel all of these orders too.
Orders! All in! Listen up! Ready!
Because what I want to start doing is using field marshal
Attention!
lines. Because we're going to need to with this number of troops in the field. Okay, so Pownal is something of a special case.
Commands!
Oh, you should not have actually been removed. Let's put you under the command of this.
Yes, sir! Listen up!
You're fine. And then you are also fighting over here, right? Yes. And now we don't want to push too hard because we've actually got a border with the Axis as well. And then... Oh no, it's cancelled all of these orders. Like, all of them. Shock troops are going to be over here too. With orders to go this way, I think.
Listen up!
Harold Alexander. These are Jaeger troops, which are going to be my general front line. Like, my hard-pushing guys. Marines.
Yes, sir!
And then tanks. We have a bunch more tanks on the way. Okay. So,
Hey, sir!
I need another field marshal, and I think
Ready,
it's going to
sir.
be Montgomery.
Listen up!
'Cause Montgomery is slightly wasted here.
All in!
Oh no, that's not what I meant. I meant to bring in Monty for that army, and Horrocks for this army. Like so.
Ready to move!
Okay. Which is the most played, this mod or Kaiserreich? I suspect it's Kaiserreich now, but I'm not so sure anymore. It used to be Road to 56. Road to 56 drags the game out and adds a lot of fun focus trees. I haven't seen the the focus tree I'm using is basically just the vanilla British one, so I haven't seen anything particularly interesting with that. The thing that really does it for me with Road to 56 is the tech tree. Like, Kaiserreich could really learn a thing or 3 from this tech tree. It's pretty phenomenal. Also, October 47. We're pretty close to being able to get this. You know what? Let's go ahead of the curve. Let's get some better guns. Because we are going to need to start using Chinese troops. Oh, and actually, I should mention, this is not actually the end of the previous stream. I did redo the peace deal to try and make a bigger central China. I don't remember how I did it. I think I just liberated this one first, and then started adding territories to it if it didn't split out already. But this is a better peace deal in terms of the territories that we split out. We do still have the various warlords because I didn't want to have a unified China. I thought that the Allied powers would try and keep China divided so it wouldn't become a threat to them. Otherwise, it's the same. The other territories have been given out to the same people. Like this was all to the Netherlands. Japan kept Japan. Korea was split out. Venezuela went to the United States. Stuff like that. Okay, let's start setting up these front lines. We also need a couple more generals. Auchinleck is available. Is he? I'm wondering if Auchinleck wants to be in here.
Ready to move.
No, I think Auchinleck was shock troops?
Ready to move.
I can't even remember. Howard Alexander is good for that. Merton Beckwith, definitely the naval. Hobart and Campbell being the tanks. Yeah, I think that this was Auchinleck.
Listen up.
Which means that this can then be Cunningham
All in.
and O'Connor.
All
Okay.
in.
So, front line, holding down shift. And we're going to say that you are responsible for this whole line.
Ready to move.
Then Monty. No, that's too much. We'll say that you're responsible for everything up to here.
Ready to move.
And then Monty, you're going to be responsible for... not that. Hello? There we go. All of this. Actually, I think I'm going to reduce that slightly. Because Monty does have a lot of troops too. And they're all quite lightweight.
Ready to move.
Okay, and then my actual attacking divisions. I think what I might want to do is try and cut Siberia in half. That'll make it a lot more manageable. This is all plains. We have a couple of forests. I mean, the Jaegers are going to actually be best probably fighting over here. So maybe trying to push out of Manchuria. Maybe pushing into Vladivostok.
Ready to move.
Ooh, I like that idea. Let's have you lot trying to take out... this. Now, where am I going to have the Marines? I think the Marines might go and help us with Turkey.
Ready, sir.
Because I would very much like to push the Axis out of Turkey and then just defend the crossings. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to prepare naval invasions from Beirut to any ports that they have. Hell, it doesn't even need to be from there, it can be from Crete. Crete would be easier. Which is the bigger port, Hercalion or Chania? Chania is a level 1, Hercalion's a level 3, so Hercalion would be better. Although, someone's been mining this. Is this mined by us or by them? Enemy has laid mines. Okay, so this is mined, so that's going to be... Has he mined this, the whole Mediterranean? Oh, they have! Huh. Well, that's very naughty. 620 mines. Crikey. Italy's been busy. Well, in that case, we need to make a Minesweeper. Ooh, never done that before. Exciting. Level 2. Level 6. Yeah, going from Lebanon would be the better idea. Except for the fact that Lebanon would stress my already stressed supply lines. So I think we're actually going to go from Alexandria. So Antalya. Rhodes. Izmir. And then various islands, I think. And apparently the Black Sea has 2,000! Wow, okay. We definitely need some minesweepers. I think I've just found where the Soviet fleet is. And I think I've just realised what the Soviet fleet comprises. It's just mine layers. Mordred, you clearly play too much Kaiserreich. Vanilla Italy lays mines in the Mediterranean if you don't keep it under lockdown. Interesting. I mean, it's the places I have not been sending my fleet, so it kind of makes sense. It's just kind of amusing just how much of it there is.
Ready to move!
So 6 of you go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of you there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of you there. And then 6 of you there. Prepare that. Get ready to go. Also, do you have a level up? You do. Oh, infantry expert! Excellent! Hell, we could even get naval liaison, but I don't think we really want to. Trickster and then improv expert would be the one that you really want. Because that would also help you going across rivers. Which are the other Marines' job. Oh, we're still training a bunch of shock troops. No, we're doing desert infantry. Why am I doing desert infantry? Oh, for this. Is this really desert, though? This is becoming mountainous. Very, very mountainous. I'm going to cancel this. And I think I'm actually going to start researching mountaineers. And we'll build a bunch of mountaineers instead. Alright, Hobart. Gonna need you for the Soviet offensive. But where? I mean, you would actually be the most useful attacking from about here. And then punching across to here. And we're going to send the other tanks to support you in this. We'll make that an offensive line instead of a spearhead. Jock Campbell is an armor officer. Okay, so he just needs to get Panzer Leader. That's fine, so I'm not going to buy any traits for you. Because you are now actually a tank commander. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is produce a new Minesweeper destroyer. Actually, I've literally never built Minesweepers. Who's best at it? Can I even do Minesweeper? I don't think I can even do Minesweepers yet. Oh, here we go. That's the sweeper. Yeah, I suspect that having a destroyer would be the best for that. So we'll make a tier 3 destroyer. I don't think they need to be particularly impressive. We're going to make a duplicate. We're going to name this the something or other. This is going to be the Unsung. The Unsung MS. Instead of anti-submarine warfare, it's going to have minesweeping. 2 of them. Otherwise, it can be identical. Leave you with a tier 3 engine. I think the rest will leave at maximum. You don't need the extra gun, that's true. You do need the AA. We can only put 2 Minesweepers on you, so maybe I do want to keep this as dual purpose. What's more expensive? Production costs 300 versus dedicated AA of 190. Oh, that's way cheaper. Because we do get bombed here. Wow, minesweeping stuff is cheap. Maybe I do want this to be a tier 4. Except for the fact that that's now going to cost me chromium. And we do have a shortage of chromium. But the benefit is that we could put on 3 Minesweepers. It's about the same price. Yeah, we'll do a tier 4. So we're going to select you, we're going to duplicate. This is going to be the unsung MS. Unsung, not the sung. You are going to be regular AA. These are going to be Minesweepers. I'm going to give you a tier 3 engine just to cut the costs down a little bit. It's about 100 production more. Going into unknown waters, yeah, we are. Do we have historical minesweepers? Mine layers. We'll use that naming list, seeing as I didn't actually use mine layers at all. And these are going to be that. Save. And we're going to need a bunch of them. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel those two. Actually, they've had barely any production done. Then I'm going to say one more of those, and then we'll switch over. Now, I am going to need to sort out my production, because I think I was relying on a lot of Japanese. No, I can't have been relying on Japanese. Chinese, probably. Yeah, it was Chinese.
Ready!
Right, those are moving. Oh, you know what's going to be a problem? Especially for the heavy tanks? Infrastructure. Wow, Mongolia is heavily developed. Crikey! You know what? New plan. We're going to do the unthinkable. We're going to pull a Hannibal.
Listen up.
Because the benefit of going via India is that I can upgrade the infrastructure here. So eventually we may need to reroute some garrison troops over here, but that's fine. And then we are also going to start upgrading the infrastructure. Oh, flip! It's a Dominion. I can't do it anymore. I hate this change. I really hate this change. So actually the easiest place to push would be from here. But that's sending tanks through the Caucasus. I don't know how to use my tanks here because their supply usage is going to be horrendous. It means 8 supply for those 4 alone. It's another 16 for those 8. 24 supply for 12 tanks. Or more, in fact. They can refuel on the way through the Caucasus. Still think the easiest breakthrough point is going to be there. We'll just need to back them off. Replenish them every now and then.
Listen up!
Okay. Then what I can do... Wait. Xinjiang's on our side, right? Yeah. That's why I can't. Okay. I think that's all of you now deployed. That's all of you now deployed. You are... You guys are... You are...
Yes, sir!
You're over in England.
Ready to move!
With no field marshal. Do you necessarily need one? No.
Orders!
Okay, I can level up. No, we can't.
Ready, sir!
Let's just double check all of these. You're still waiting for Trickster to get improvisation. So are you.
Come on!
Hobart has no level ups. He's just waiting for level 6, and then he can get Panzer Expert or Combined Arms. We'll have to see which. Probably Panzer, and we'll make this guy the Combined Arms. Although getting Cavalry Leader on you would be quite useful too. Next thing we need to work out is our production. We still need our aircraft to be built. We have a big shortage of guns. We have a massive surplus of support equipment and motorized. So let's cut you down to 3. Let's cut you down to 10. Cut you down to 10. That should do. And then we need to try and find new supplies of basically everything. What are you being intercepted by? Don't know. Manchu, I would like all of them. Okay. Go. Xinjiang was done. So I would like to start getting some infrastructure here. Particularly in these two provinces. Especially in this one. Blimey. Now the Soviets are pulling loads and loads of troops back from there.
Ready, sir!
So we could kind of do with an offensive going on here.
Orders!
Bye, Soviets! Hope you had fun! Come on, people, we need to take the advantage here while we can. I'm guessing that this is a supply black hole, though. Yep. Required 200. Actually available 22. Okay. This is just
All in!
untenable. We're not fighting there. Absolutely not.
Ready! All in!
We'll defend against the Axis powers, and we'll let our allies go against the Soviets there.
Ready, sir!
Oh, wow. All of the production just ceased. Okay, let's go and upgrade the infrastructure here a little bit.